I heard a doctor say that whenever he started wearing a wedding ring after he got married, more women started hitting on him. And that's the truth. There are women that are very trashy, and they have a thing particularly for married men. The challenge and the chase of someone else's man excites them. And that is exactly why you want to date or marry a man who has good boundaries with other women. You don't want to date the guy. You don't want to marry the guy that's like, I can have a work wife. I have a best female friend. Men that don't have boundaries with other women, that let other women constantly flirt with him and he indulges it because he doesn't want to hurt her feelings, steer far and clear from those men. Because at the end of the day, no matter how a woman behaves towards your husband, it is his job to put boundaries in place and protect your marriage. Because there's always going to be trashy women that are like, ooh, married man. Mistresses are unfortunately always going to exist because there's always going to be women who have no self-respect. So, yes, honestly, to some women, your husband is attractive just because he's with you. And that is why a good man, a faithful husband, will have good boundaries with all other.
Facts. And I would say that in the exact opposite direction as well, because just as many women out here who, and what she's talking about is a concept called preselection, where women will look at a guy who has a woman, especially if that woman is at her level or above in looks or in body or in status, and she will see that guy as pre-selected, pre-chosen. So she'll go for that because that's less work for her to do. Women are inherently lazy creatures. But at the exact same time, the whole concept of work wives and work husbands, I've done videos on that, and I'll pin one to the top comment in case you guys haven't seen it. But yeah, she's exactly right. And as many guys are here, thirsty as hell, will see a chick has a boyfriend or a husband and still go for the play. This is how you get your head blown off, because some guys ain't going for it. But yeah, she's exactly right. And the thing is, if you're a guy, and I've had guys, I'm ex-Navy. I had a buddy of mine who wasn't married, but he had a fake wedding ring. He went to the club, he couldn't peel him off. He couldn't peel them off fast enough. They couldn't get enough of them. And they get mad after the end of the night, after he finished clapping. He take the ring off, put it in his pocket. And they're like, yo, what are you doing? And I heard the stories he told me later about how women would be mad as hell after discovering that they didn't actually have an affair with a married man. They just let some single guy clap. They were pissed off. Why? Because, well, number one, they had horrible character. But number two, the idea of competing with a woman they didn't even know for what belonged to her is what drove them to take their panties off. This is crazy work. But it's also female nature. Be aware of it. And if you can, I'm not saying you should, use it to your advantage.
I see a lot of people talking about the fact that women will pursue men who are taken with their partner being an attractive female, right? That's usually the premise of this conversation. And I want to dig into why this is, because we're acting like this is newfound information when really this is backed by psychology. We've known this for a long time. And again, don't take my word for it. Read The Moral Animal. Read any of David Buss's work, right? You'll learn this pretty quickly, that a girl's girl doesn't really exist. Women are in constant competition with other women, and we don't do it the same way that men do. Men will just go beat the shit out of one another, and they'll call it a day, shake hands, and move on with their lives. Women love to gossip, and they love to reputation slander. This is why a woman's best friend will, behind her best friend's back, talk shit about her to her boyfriend that she is actually trying to sleep with. If a woman is online talking about her marriage and how happy she is, she'll be called a pick-me. Or women will tell her that she's got internalized misogyny or she's been brainwashed by the patriarchy, when really she's just standing on her opinion based on her lived experience and her relationship with her man, which is very positive, in contrast to women who are single, divorcees, or just bitter. And married women who are happily married know this. This is why the internet is full of people talking about how bad men are, how terrible marriage is, because the happily married people keep their mouths shut, because women know how other women operate. My favorite part about this conversation is they somehow always throw a backhanded compliment at the man. Like, the guy's not even attractive, she's just beautiful. Like, beauty is not an assessment or a proper assessment of somebody's quality, of the quality of a person, right? Their character. Are they actually a good partner? Because the reality is, if she's a good woman and she's with a man that you deem to be less attractive based on your subjective perspective on what attractiveness actually is, well then yeah, you can throw stones at him, but the reality is he's a quality partner. And what women assume is, one, they envy her, they don't like her, whether she's more attractive, has more status, obviously has a partner that takes care of her or provides for her, or she's younger, right? There's going to be some intersexual competition there. And they will pursue the man because he's already been filtered out by her female counterpart to be a good partner. And she doesn't want to do the work of being a good partner or pursuing the character trait.
We also can't forget the ego component of all this. Women have enormous egos. And the idea of her taking away a man and his resources away from another woman, especially one she sees as a viable rival, is a massive ego boost and validation for women. Other than that, though, she's cooking.
Working on herself to be somebody who could get into a relationship where a man actually treats her well. Instead, why not play the game where it's easier to just take somebody else's partner? And this is why women supporting women is always context dependent on if you agree with the same beliefs that I have. And a girl's girl is also dependent on, well, you must have the same convictions and values that I do. And if not, what do? They gossip and they reputation slander. This is female behavior. It's been this way. It is this way. It will continue to go this way because we continue to justify why it's okay. We rationalize our decision making and we personalize things that other people say because we cannot practice restraint around the fact that maybe that person's opinion is something that they have the right to have that I completely disagree with. And I don't have to listen to. It's like the internet people just feel like they have to leave comments and they get triggered in people's sections and they've got to justify their behavior and justify their beliefs and their values and then incentivize other women to engage in the same type of degrading behavior. Because any woman who says anything about self-respect, about modesty, about faith, right, anything, immediately attacked by mostly feminists. But again, even as somebody who doesn't agree with feminism, I respect your right to live your life the way that you want to, right? Your consciousness is not mine. I don't have to live with that. You do. And so you have the freedom to do that. I have the freedom to talk about the things that I care about. And I do care about men, and I will speak for men, just like I care about women, and I will speak to women who are ready and willing and want to live a better life for them that may not be aligned with the ideological capture that they've experienced via social media and propaganda and all the bullshit that the media has to sell them on. And I know that I'm covering a multitude of subjects on this Monday rant, but I had to get it off my chest because I'm so sick of seeing this women support women and girls bullshit when it's all under the guise of, if you agree with me and behave the way I want you to and engage in the same or enable the behaviors that I engage with by participating in what I do, then we can be friends. And to women who know this, who notice this, and do not want to be aligned with that type of behavior, please just be aware of who you surround yourself with, what you consume, and more importantly, the consequences of the choices that you make, because you will be the person who has to pay the price of living with that in your mind and those regrets of your soul. When you could have chosen to go against the grain and yes, resist the pressure, because I know there's a ton of peer pressure to behave in certain ways or engage in certain behaviors, but their life, their decisions, and their pressure is more about them feeling validated in the pursuits that they engage with versus giving a shit about you.
She gets it. She gets it. And this is an attractive woman. Beautiful, fit, friendly, and rational, which makes her unusual among most Western women. I will have a bit of disagreement on her by saying this is female behavior, because behavior will vary from woman to woman. Behavior will vary because that woman's upbringing, her social conditions. This is why men will take their passports overseas and will deal with foreign women as opposed to Western women in most cases, because the behavior is different. So that we disagree on, but what she's speaking of would most certainly fit more comfortably under female nature. And by the way, feminism, and I'll call it effinism for the rest of the video because I don't want to get flagged because YouTube's weird like that. But effinism has a very, very bad habit of saying women have power, women have agency, women can do whatever they want to do as long as it aligns with the Democrat Party and feminism at large. If you want to be a housewife, you want to bake cookies, you want to be a great mom, you don't want to be a part of the corporate rat race, you don't want to be out here throwing your ass in a circle and being so-called sexually liberated, feminism has a problem with you as a woman. You're bringing down the cause. You're a traitor to the sisterhood, which of course the sisterhood is a fictitious concept. The sisterhood is a fake idea because the sisterhood only exists as long as there's a man to be allied against, or the mythical patriarchy, the ever-present boogeyman for all their so-called worldview. But man, Salute to this lady. God bless whoever is dating her or married to her, because women like her are very hard to come by here in the West. So salute to her. Salute to her father, because she speaks like the kind of woman who had a father in her life who was unapologetically masculine and therefore raised her up to have actual respect and admiration for men. My God. Cloning is still illegal. What a shame.
Pop it a little bit. What you doing? Oh, bro, watch out, bro. Bro, watch out. Get out my face. Bro, get out my face. Get out my face. Get out my face. Go do you, bro. Bro, watch out, bro. I'm trying to. What's the problem? Wait, what's going on? Tam, I want you to go back where you was. I'm not. Stop following me, bro. Sorry. Bro, Chad, she's saying she's gonna follow me around. She's not gonna leave me alone. I want to be left alone. She's gonna stick to me like glue. I'm dead ass done with her, bro.
Typical. The caption reads, she ignored Mel all day, but as soon as fine shit was on his body, she started following him around. Now, I imagine this young man's a streamer, so he's got some clout, some social media pull, and as best I can understand it, there was a girl in there he was talking to or trying to. She wasn't hearing it. She was playing too good. I don't say he playing hard to get no more. What a waste of time that is. She was playing too good, so he left her where he found her. And then a female more attractive than her was showing true interest, genuine interest, choosing signals. Now, all of a sudden, as mentioned before in the video, now that he's pre-selected by a woman far more attractive than herself, I'm guessing far more feminine than herself, now she's all up in his face. Now she won't allow herself to exercise self-control. That if this was reversed, if she was the streamer and he was the guy that wouldn't take no for an answer, we all know how this would play out. We all know the narrative that we painted on this. And for good reason. Women don't get called bums enough in this society. We don't call women losers enough when they exhibit loser, bum-like behavior. He said he doesn't want nothing to do with you. He says he wants you to carry your ass. That's not up for debate. That's not up for discussion. Because again, if we flip this around, this would not pass the gender swap test. White knights would descend like a SWAT team to tackle him to the ground if necessary, to get him off of her. So why does she think it's okay for her to continue to invade his space when he's told her repeatedly to get her ass up the road? For all my guys who are new here, welcome. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I want you to have a couple of takeaways from this video today. Number one, women love a man who's been pre-selected by other women. That's less work for them to have to do. When other women decide that a guy is viable, the rest of them, because they work as a hive mind, they don't think individually, they think by committee. When they decide he is top shelf, they all want a piece of the action. So use that to your advantage. Use that to your advantage when it comes to your economics and your fitness and the way you carry yourself, hopefully your stoicism. Second part, women cannot handle rejection. They expect you to take it on the chin. They expect you to roll with the punches, to approach with impunity, and throw the caution to the wind. But oh, don't let them be in a situation where they don't get what they want. Oh, see, now the sky is falling. Preposterous. See it for yourself. Use it to your advantage. That said, that's my time. Like the video? Comment down below. Share this video with a friend and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Never let your brother suffer in silence when the truth can set him free. Networkers, we working. Until next time.